Hello and welcome, YouTube strangers. This is mtgxerxes here with a little bit of a introduction on one of the new features of Diablo 3, and that is the auction house. At the moment, they don't have the real money auction house. Right now it's only gold, but they're going to both end up working the same way. So let's just take a little bit of a closer look at how it works. They've got 4 tabs up here for searching for all sorts of equipment, or gems, or crafting and dyes, anything that you could think of that you would need. In the real money auction house as well, you can look for gold. You can buy stuff, you can sell stuff. It gives you a list of previous auctions that you've already had, and everything else that you're already bidding on, and all sorts of good stuff like that. So how does this work? Well, all of your characters are going to share a gold amount. Right now my balance is 44,300 and some change. So since all my characters share that gold, some characters find some gear that you either think is really good or that somebody else might want. You can sell it if you want. First off, you do have to make sure that everything is repaired. So I'm going to head into a game real quick and repair them so we can see. It'll then allow me to sell this material as well. Alright, and we're back, and as you can see, everything has now been repaired. You can tell by the durability in the corner, 38 of 38, 39 of 39, etc. And everything is now repaired. So what that allows us to do is it allows us to click on stuff if we want to sell it. Let's just say we want to sell that. It'll tell us a starting price, which it sets at the value of whatever we could do by selling it to the vendor, which is never really worth it, of course. And we can set, similar to how eBay is, there's a buy it now option and an auction or a price you can set at for bidding. And there's 2 general rules of thumb. One thing I like to do is it says required level 26. So I like to set a buyout price of 100 times, or of whatever the 1,000 times of whatever the required level price is. So for something item like this, you could just say, oh, a buyout price at 260, and we'll start it at 1,300, just to kind of give a vague estimation of what exactly you're hoping to get. Because generally, if you're looking for something to do on the auction house, you kind of want to get rid of things quicker as opposed to try and get the maximum amount of gold, because they're taking up your space. You don't need it. Somebody else probably does need it, and if you can give it to them for a good price, then it's all fine and dandy. You need the gold yourself, and if you ask too much for it, then it's going to take up space, as you can only sell 10 items at any particular time. So you want to make sure that they're able to get up there and get out and get sold where people can end up buying them and using them. So let's put that back up there, 1,300 and 2,600, and then create auction. Now what this means is auction's created. You have 5 minutes to cancel your bid if you change your mind. So if we wanted to go there, you can see a little countdown clock. We can cancel it. Auctions will be up for 2 days, and then if it's sold, whether by bid or by buyout, you'll get to find out in here. You can move your gold into your stash like that. But let's put a couple of other items up first as well. So let's put up just a few other things, and then we'll give it some time to see if we can end up selling something during the course of this video as well. So, oops, there we go. Let's put that up there. Also level 26. So we'll just put that there. Take a couple of minutes, and then we're just going to wait a few minutes to see if we can get something to sell during the rest of this video as we continue to talk about more stuff. Before we want to do that, we want to make sure that we sell everything else. There's a second rule of thumb that I like. Whatever that base sell value is that it gives, I like to set a starting bid at that point. If you don't want to try and have a buyout and you want to have people to bid on it to get you potentially more money than you could ask for with a buyout, you can go that route as well. And at least you know that you'll be getting something worthwhile, much more than you'd be able to get if you just put it down into a vendor. A lot of people also put in a very large buyout maximum, like 50,000 or 100,000 or something like that, just in case somebody randomly clicks on it and they're forced to buy it or something like that by mistake. Or if you don't expect to get it, but maybe somebody really wants that piece of gear, you can still put a very high overpriced buyout option. Who knows, maybe you'll end up getting it. But for an item like this, since it has an open socket and it's a low level requirement, that's a pretty significant rare feature, even though it's just a magical item. So let's just say 33. Just put in a bunch of 3s and see how that one goes. And that auction is now listed. So there's just a couple rule of thumbs that I like to use as far as basing prices on what your auctions are going to be. So we're going to continue putting the rest of these up before we move on to how do you buy items. Okay, and now that we've listed everything up for sale, let's take a look at how you buy stuff. First off, whichever character you load up, it's going to give you some recommended items that you can look around, and it's usually going to be more weapon oriented. Oh, see, look at that. Something is already sold for us. So I guess we'll take a quick break and take a gander at that. Completed auctions is where it's going to find. So it's going to show us various money that we have, whether it's something that we've won on. There you go, the memory has sold. And the money or the gold that you got for it is going to go into this auction bank, to which you can directly send it to your stash. Money that you bid on but you get outbid, you don't lose the gold completely, it stays in your auction bank. So let's send that back to my stash. And then Cavalry Heart, we just sold this, whatever it was, I don't even remember, but let's just send that money right to our stash. And then you notice our account bank has just gone up. So that's a little something on how that works. Anyway, the weapon, it's usually going to be something weapon oriented, and as you can see, there's a lot of people with some ridiculously high buyout options, some without the option whatsoever. But what if we're not looking for something this specific? What if we want something for a different character? You can have all your sorts of different characters that you have. You can look at all sorts of different kinds of weapons, or even something for your mercenaries, as there's multiple different mercenaries you have in the game, and then all sorts of different types. So you want to be as specific as possible when you're looking for something. And then you can even put in a level range. So let's just say 10 to 30. No, let's go 20 to 30. And then you can also even select as a rarity, which you pretty much would only want to select these last three options. But I'm not even going to take a gander at legendary items right now. I'd rather find those on my own, and I'm sure people are only asking ridiculous prices for them anyway. So let's just click on something rare. Let's click on a one-handed weapon of, let's see, a hand crossbow for my demon huntress. And then you can even select in preferred stats that you want. Do you want more dexterity? Do you want chance for extra critical hits or chance to knock back? Do you want to make sure it has sockets? Let's go with sockets. Those are pretty important. So let's take some of those, and let's take, let's see, where's dexterity? There we go, let's take dexterity. Those are both really important for Demon Hunter, so let's take a gander at them. And then up is going to come a huge list of things. Wow, 2 million gold for that item. It must be really good. But maybe they're just asking a ridiculous price for it. Who knows? Although it seems like it has a bid up there. So there's also, you can sort whether by buyout at highest to lowest, or you can sort it from lowest to highest. You can check on it by damage per second as well if you're just looking for the most raw power that you can possibly get. I personally like to click on buyout from the lowest ones because I don't want to have to wait around a couple of days to maybe get an item. If I'm looking for it, I want to just get it. So you can search by the pages that there are down here. There's going to be a lot of pages for anything that you find, and eventually we're going to find something. It might take a few pages. Might take a few pages. Wow, look at this. I've never had to go more than 13 pages before finding what I needed. We'll just keep on clicking. Wow. There's a lot of people selling stuff up there within my level range. So if something like this happens and it gets to be way too ridiculous to try and find anything, looks like there's not even any for a buyout option. So, okay, we're going to change our level range a little bit. Let's put it up 10 to 24, and we'll research. It still searches by buyout if we want to put that area on there. And you know what, let's make it even more specific than that. Let's just do 10 to 15 to really lower. Oh, no items found. Alright, let's go 15 to 18 then. Search by buyout, and we'll try and find something that's got a different buyout option, but it looks like none of these seem to have it. That's very interesting. Well, if buying out isn't your thing, then you can just look and browse by hovering your mouse over the picture of the item, and it'll show you all the different stuff that it has. Fire damage, increased attack speed, dexterity, empty socket, which you notice it includes the sockets and dexterity that it is that we wanted. So those look like a really good item. This looks like a really good item as well. So if it's something that really suits your fancy, let's just click on this one, and then a little highlighted option comes to bid. If there was a buyout option, it would also be there as well. So let's just click on bid. It shows you what the current bid is. You can double check what the item is, and let's just bid, who knows, 888. I like to always use various obscure looking numbers for bidding and for selling. They just stand out a little bit more. Notice all sorts of stuff is very even, but you know, the ones like 597 and 312, those and 341, like they just look a little more weird, and they force me to look at that first rather than everybody in the world who's going to be posting up the same borderline number. Like instead of 40,000, this is why stores, when you go to a retail place, it'll say 39.95 or 39.99, just because having a variety of numbers like that stands out a little bit more. So, but we don't have to go with just for that. We can look at armor, for example, and there's going to be all sorts of different things, including the jewelry, boots, bracers, helms, things like that, and then even class-specific stuff should we want to go that way. So let's click on some shoulders, because shoulders are a little bit tougher to find. There's no sockets for those, but we can still get some dexterity on them. And how about some extra gold find, since we're in the auction house looking for gold. And then as well, it's going to show us a bunch of different lists that we can take a gander at first between the recommended levels that we wanted. And really the key for the auction house is just to be as specific as possible. And if any of you guys are familiar with buying and selling on eBay, oh, there we go, there's some buyout options. And the buyout options are really simple. You can just click on it. If it's something you like, see what's mine right now. Mine just gives dexterity. I don't really care about health globe grants life bonus. That's not too big of a deal for me. But this one has it's a small amount of dexterity. I want more than that. I guess I would probably have to look at a higher level value because my character is much higher than level 20. So these are all level 15 items. So I'm not really interested in getting any of these specifically. But if I wanted to, I'd be able to click the buyout option, and then the item would automatically go into my completed area, to which I could just send the item to the stash. Like how there's gold, there's also going to be a section for items that we want. So I should buy something out. Let's go back just to show how that works. Let me get a chipped gem of ruby, quantity 2, because I already have 1. So we'll just look for 2, and then it'll show me this total amount, price per unit. Let's just buy it out. Buy 2 of them, sure, right now. So there, we go to buy it out. We can go to the auctions, and then this shows your previous bids. I'm currently not winning this, but there's time left. I could still bid on it more. And this is one I'm currently bidding that I just got. And then here you'll see, the gold and the buyouts that we just had. So we can click on the ruby and send it to our stash, and voila! It's now been sent to our stash. We can even look at our stash now, and we'll see that a couple of chipped rubies have now gone in there. So that's pretty cool. That's exactly what we were hoping for. You can even go through all of your different characters that you currently have at the moment, which right now I pretty much have only been playing as 2 of them. Just in case you want to sell something that they happen to be wearing, or look at what it is they're holding in their inventory. So there's all sorts of different options, and it really just matters that you want to be as specific as you possibly can. And people are putting up anything and everything. You can even sort it by difficulty. You can sort it almost any way that you really want. You can even look if it's legendary or set for a specific item, should you're looking for more than just some random mismatch of what people are trying to pawn off on you. And that's pretty much going to do it for our quick little tutorial on how the auction house works. Just note that the real money auction house will be available in a little while, and that's going to be a little bit more intense, but it's going to work essentially the exact same way. So thanks for watching, guys, and just remember you can always catch out more D3 LP episodes or other content on my channel. Thanks for watching. Peace.